Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions, waiting for some invisible signal to start living your life? Maybe you think real life begins after you achieve certain milestones, a promotion, a relationship, financial stability, or even when you feel ready. But what if the truth is far more profound? What if your real life doesn't begin when the world says it should, but the moment you decide, with fierce conviction, that you are no longer a passenger in your own story? The moment you stop waiting for permission, for perfect timing, for the stars to align, that's when your real life begins. This isn't some distant future, it's now. It's raw, it's vulnerable, and it's entirely yours. There's a powerful transformation that happens when you fully accept responsibility for your existence. It's the recognition that no one else will hand you your life on a silver platter, that waiting for external approval is a silent thief stealing your present. Real life demands that you step into discomfort, because growth does not come wrapped in comfort and certainty. It comes through facing the unknown, embracing uncertainty, and risking failure. When you shift your mindset to see challenges as invitations to evolve rather than threats to your security, you tap into a well of strength you didn't know existed. This is the essence of living fully, not despite fear or hardship, but because of them. Breaking free from the craving for external validation unleashes a radical freedom. When your worth is no longer tethered to the opinions of others, when your purpose springs from an authentic place deep within, your life gains clarity and direction. You stop chasing shadows and start walking toward the light you create yourself. This internal alignment is what gives life meaning, fuels passion, and ignites perseverance through even the darkest storms. Real life is not about fitting into a mold designed by society or anyone else. It's about carving your own path, unapologetically and without hesitation. Now, this journey is not for the faint-hearted. It requires courage to break away from familiar comforts and face the truth that life is unpredictable, but it is precisely this unpredictability that makes life precious and alive. When you embrace uncertainty as a natural part of existence, you learn to dance with it rather than resist it. You begin to understand that your power is not in controlling outcomes, but in mastering your responses, your mindset, and your resolve. This psychological shift is the foundation for building resilience, the kind that transforms setbacks into stepping stones. As you lean into this new way of living, you will notice how your relationships, your work, and your daily experiences begin to shift. The people who truly resonate with your authentic self will remain, while others may fade away, and that is perfectly okay. Real life is about quality, not quantity in every sense. It's about aligning your actions with your values so that each day carries weight and significance. This alignment fosters a deep inner peace because you're no longer divided, no longer pretending to be someone you're not. At its core, this awakening is an invitation to become the architect of your own destiny. It asks you to live deliberately, with intention and awareness, shedding the illusions that once kept you trapped in cycles of complacency. The real life that awaits you on the other side of this transformation is rich with potential, growth, and fulfillment. It is a life where you meet challenges head-on, fuel your dreams with unshakable belief, and cultivate an unbreakable spirit. This is when your real life begins, not in some far-off future, but right here, right now, in the courageous choice you make to truly live. From this moment forward, everything changes because you recognize that life isn't about waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal conditions. The truth is, perfect conditions will never come. Life is a series of unpredictable waves, and the only way to truly live is by learning to surf them with confidence. This means showing up each day, not as a victim of circumstance, but as the master of your mindset. It means cultivating discipline in your thoughts and actions so that your inner world becomes a fortress of strength, no matter what storms rage outside. When you internalize this, you begin to see that growth happens not in spite of adversity, but because of it. Each failure, each setback, each moment of doubt becomes a tool for building a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. Your real life also begins the moment you stop seeking validation from the outside world and turn your gaze inward. The need for approval is a trap that keeps you shackled to other people's expectations and limits your true expression. When you find your voice, your passions, and your values, you liberate yourself from this prison. Purpose then flows naturally, not as a burden, but as a source of energy and fulfillment. It's the compass that guides you through uncertainty and motivates you to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. This sense of purpose is the bedrock of a life lived fully and meaningfully. As you embrace this path, you will realize that authenticity is your greatest strength. It attracts people and opportunities that resonate with who you are rather than who you pretend to be. This authenticity creates deeper connections and enriches your experiences, allowing you to live with genuine joy and satisfaction. It is this genuine living that empowers you to face life's unpredictability with grace and courage. No longer controlled by fear or doubt, you step into your power and claim your rightful place in the world. This is a call to awaken to your fullest potential, to stop postponing your dreams and stop hiding behind excuses, to take the reins of your life and steer it with purpose, passion, and resilience. This is when your real life begins, when you choose to live deliberately, embrace discomfort as a teacher, find meaning within yourself, and create a life worth living every single day. The moment you stop waiting for permission or perfect conditions and decide to take full ownership of your life is when your real life truly begins. This shift is profound because it moves you from a passive state of existence into active creation. For too long, many people live in a state of hesitation, holding back because they believe they need approval from others or that circumstances must be ideal before they can act. But the truth is, life rarely offers perfect timing or flawless scenarios. Waiting for the right moment is often a disguised form of procrastination, a way to delay facing responsibility or fear of failure. When you realize that no external permission is required, that you are the only one with the power to start, to create, and to shape your life, you step into a new realm of freedom and possibility. This awakening demands courage because it challenges the comfortable narratives that keep you stuck. It asks you to move beyond excuses and limitations that have been accepted as truths for too long. The clarity that comes from embracing ownership transforms your perspective on challenges and opportunities alike. Instead of seeing obstacles as reasons to stop or pause, you begin to see them as tests of your commitment and resilience. This mindset shift ignites a powerful inner drive that pushes you forward even when conditions seem less than ideal. Ownership means accepting that your life's outcomes are ultimately your responsibility, not the result of luck, fate, or the approval of others. This empowers you to stop blaming circumstances or people for where you are. Instead, you become focused on what you can control: your decisions, your actions, your attitude. With this realization comes a sense of empowerment that nothing outside of you can diminish unless you allow it. When you fully take ownership, you no longer give away your power to external forces or let fear dictate your choices. You recognize that waiting for external validation or ideal conditions is a trap that keeps you from living authentically and fully. Instead, you choose to act now, imperfectly if necessary, but decisively. This proactive approach creates momentum. Each step you take reinforces your ability to shape your life, build confidence, and overcome fear. As momentum builds, hesitation fades, replaced by an unstoppable energy fueled by purpose and self-trust. This is where true growth begins, because life is lived in motion, not in waiting. Another important aspect of taking ownership is embracing the discomfort that naturally accompanies change and responsibility. It can be uncomfortable to realize that no one else is coming to fix your problems or pave your way. This realization forces you to become resourceful, resilient, and self-reliant. It awakens hidden strengths and talents that lie dormant as long as you remain in the waiting game. When you stop waiting for permission, you are also rejecting the victim mindset. No longer seeing yourself as someone who happens to be acted upon, you step into the role of the creator of your reality. This shift has profound psychological effects. It increases self-esteem, improves decision-making, and deepens your sense of meaning and purpose. Ownership brings with it a radical sense of freedom. You understand that you don't have to be anyone else or live someone else's expectations. You get to define what success and happiness mean for you personally. This internal authority is what fuels authentic living. When you live by your own standards and take responsibility for your choices, you cultivate a life that is aligned with your true values and desires. This alignment creates a powerful internal harmony that radiates outward, influencing every area of your life, relationships, work, health, and personal growth. Moreover, the moment you take full ownership, you also gain clarity about your goals and priorities. Without waiting or deflecting responsibility, you begin to clarify what you really want and what steps are necessary to get there. This clarity replaces confusion and indecision with focus and direction. It helps you identify distractions and habits that no longer serve you, enabling you to eliminate them and create space for growth. The process of taking ownership is ongoing and dynamic. It requires continual reflection, honest assessment, and the willingness to course correct. But each time you recommit to this principle, you deepen your mastery over your life. You learn to navigate uncertainty with confidence and to embrace setbacks as opportunities for learning rather than reasons to quit. This maturity is the foundation of a life that is vibrant, resilient, and deeply fulfilling. In this way, the moment you choose to stop waiting and start owning your life is truly the moment your real life begins. Not because external circumstances have changed, but because your internal relationship with yourself has transformed. This decision to take ownership rewires your mindset, rewrites your story, and reconnects you with your innate power to create meaning and joy regardless of what happens around you. It is the cornerstone of all growth, freedom, and lasting fulfillment. Real life begins when you embrace discomfort and uncertainty as necessary catalysts for growth, rather than obstacles to avoid. This shift in perspective is essential because discomfort and uncertainty are inevitable parts of any meaningful transformation. For many, the instinct is to flee from pain, fear, and unpredictability, to seek safety and predictability instead. But this natural aversion only leads to stagnation, keeping you trapped in cycles of comfort that feel safe but ultimately limit your potential. When you begin to understand that discomfort is not a sign that you are off track, but a signal that you are stretching beyond your current limits, you open the door to true expansion. Growth never occurs inside the bubble of comfort. It requires that you lean into the unknown and face fears head on. This requires a radical redefinition of how you relate to uncertainty. Instead of seeing it as something to dread, you begin to view uncertainty as fertile ground for possibility and discovery. It's in the uncharted, the ambiguous, and the unpredictable where new strengths are born, where creativity sparks, and where you learn who you truly are beneath the surface. Accepting uncertainty means relinquishing the illusion of control that most people cling to. Control is often mistaken for security, but real security arises from resilience, the ability to adapt, recover, and keep moving forward no matter what life throws your way. By welcoming uncertainty, you build this resilience. You train your mind to tolerate discomfort without panic, to remain calm in chaos, and to see setbacks not as failures but as vital lessons on the path. This psychological flexibility is crucial for navigating the complexities of real life. Embracing discomfort also involves the willingness to feel deeply and authentically. Many avoid pain or difficult emotions, numbing themselves with distractions or avoidance strategies. But real life demands emotional courage, the capacity to face your inner truths, to sit with difficult feelings without judgment, and to allow those emotions to inform your growth. This deep emotional engagement transforms suffering into wisdom and strength. It teaches you empathy, patience, and self-compassion, qualities that enrich your relationships and your overall experience of life. When you choose to step into discomfort and uncertainty, you also claim ownership of your growth. You no longer wait for conditions to be perfect or for problems to resolve on their own. Instead, you take deliberate action despite fear or doubt. This proactive stance empowers you to shape your future rather than be shaped by circumstances. It fosters a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation, where mistakes are seen as valuable feedback rather than reasons to quit. The process of embracing discomfort is not linear or easy. It often feels chaotic and unpredictable, requiring perseverance and self-trust. There will be moments of doubt, fear, and resistance, but each time you choose to stay present and engaged rather than retreat, you strengthen your capacity to handle whatever comes next. Over time, this builds a deep reservoir of confidence that sustains you through life's inevitable storms. This confidence is not arrogance, but a grounded sense of inner stability that comes from knowing you can face challenges and still remain whole. Another crucial aspect is recognizing that discomfort and uncertainty are universal human experiences. You are not alone in feeling lost, scared, or unsure at times. This recognition fosters humility and connection, helping you to lean on support systems when needed without losing your independence. It also encourages patience with yourself, understanding that growth takes time and is often invisible before the results appear. Embracing discomfort reshapes your relationship with failure as well. Failure becomes a teacher rather than an enemy, a necessary step toward mastery and self-discovery. Each stumble uncovers gaps in knowledge or skill, providing direction for improvement. This mindset dissolves the fear of failure and replaces it with curiosity and determination. Ultimately, this willingness to live fully with discomfort and uncertainty transforms your entire experience of life. Instead of shrinking away from challenges, you face them with openness and courage. Instead of craving certainty, you learn to thrive in ambiguity. Instead of avoiding pain, you allow it to deepen your understanding and growth. This is the essence of real living, the continuous unfolding of your potential through the active engagement with life's complexities and mysteries. It is where resilience, wisdom, and fulfillment emerge. In this way, real life does not begin when the path is smooth or clear, but precisely when you step into the unknown with trust in your own strength and the willingness to be uncomfortable. It is a powerful invitation to move beyond fear and resistance, and to embrace the full spectrum of human experience as the foundation for your most authentic and vibrant life. Your real life starts when you break free from the illusions of external validation and find purpose and meaning rooted in your own authentic truth. This liberation is a profound turning point because much of human suffering arises from the desperate need to be accepted, approved, or admired by others. For years, you may have unconsciously molded yourself to fit societal expectations, to gain praise, or to avoid criticism. But in doing so, you lose sight of who you truly are beneath the layers of conformity. The moment you reject the dependency on external approval, you reclaim your freedom and begin to live on your own terms. This does not mean you become indifferent to others or that you ignore the natural human desire for connection. Instead, it means that your sense of worth is no longer fragile or conditional, resting on the shifting opinions of others. When your value comes from within, you become immune to the toxic effects of comparison, envy, and social pressure. This internal foundation allows you to move through life with confidence and grace, unshaken by judgment or rejection. Finding purpose rooted in authenticity requires deep self-reflection and honesty. It asks you to look beyond the surface desires shaped by culture, family, or peers, and to discover what truly ignites your passion and fulfills your soul. This is not always easy, because the authentic self is often buried beneath years of conditioning, fear, and doubt. But as you peel back these layers, you begin to uncover your unique gifts, values, and vision. Purpose that arises from this place is powerful because it aligns with your deepest truth rather than external expectations. This alignment creates an undeniable sense of direction and motivation. When your actions are in harmony with your authentic purpose, life feels meaningful and vibrant. Challenges become bearable, even inspiring, because they serve a greater mission that you have chosen for yourself. Living authentically also means embracing your imperfections and contradictions. you no longer need to present a polished, perfect image to gain approval. Instead, you allow yourself to be seen in your full humanity, which paradoxically attracts deeper, more genuine relationships. Authenticity fosters connection because it invites others to do the same. It creates a space of trust and mutual respect, where vulnerability is strength rather than weakness. This shift transforms not only your internal world, but also your social environment. Moreover, breaking free from external validation dismantles the fear of failure and rejection. When your self-worth is not tied to outcomes or others' opinions, you gain the courage to take risks, to experiment, and to express your true self without hesitation. This freedom fuels creativity and innovation, allowing you to explore new possibilities that were previously hidden by self-doubt and fear. It also cultivates resilience because setbacks no longer define your value. You understand that failure is part of growth, not a reflection of your worth. This mindset creates a fertile ground for continuous learning and evolution. Another essential aspect is the peace that comes with self-acceptance. When you stop chasing external approval, you stop the exhausting cycle of people pleasing and anxiety about how others perceive you. This peace enhances mental and emotional well-being, reducing stress and increasing joy. You begin to experience life more fully, appreciating simple moments and authentic interactions without the burden of performance. Ultimately, your real life begins when you live authentically, because you stop living according to someone else's script and start writing your own. This empowerment transforms every area of your existence. Your relationships deepen, your work gains meaning, and your personal growth accelerates. The alignment between your inner truth and your external actions creates a powerful sense of fulfillment that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. It is here, in this place of authentic living, that your true potential unfolds and your real life begins.